These are the 5 most talked about online community platforms of the year. But which one is right for you? In today's video, I'm going to go behind the scenes and break down each of these platforms based on these 8 criteria. By the end, you will know exactly what software is the perfect fit for you, your business, and your budget. Because plot twist, the answer is actually different for everyone. And to make things extra easy for you, I have created a chart comparing all of these softwares that you can download for free below or in the cards. What's up? I'm Danny, and I have turned my YouTube community into a multi-6-figure course and community. And I want to help you do the same. So are you ready? Let's dive in. The first best community platform of the year is one of the OGs, and that's Mighty Networks. Mighty Networks is the best choice for creators who want a community-first platform that's super polished, allows for a lot of engagement, and seamlessly integrates with courses and live events. Now, personally for me, I find Mighty Networks really user-friendly as a creator and also for the student side as well. Mighty Networks organizes everything into what they call spaces. I like to think of spaces like breakout rooms at a conference. Each hosts a different conversation on a different topic, all under one umbrella. When you create a space, you can choose from templates like chat, polls, challenges, courses, events, and even a resource library. And I think Mighty Networks just organizes things really beautifully. Let's look at the student view of things. It flows really well. It really fosters a sense of community and engagement, which of course is where Mighty Networks shines. In terms of engagement, which we know we need in a community, one of my favorite things is how Mighty Networks uses polls. I actually haven't seen this anywhere else. Obviously, all the softwares I talk about have multiple choice polls, but with Mighty Networks, you can do these like hot and cold and percentage polls that look like this. These types of things really help up engagement because people want to see what other community members are voting on, and it just, I don't know, it's so fun. I also really like Mighty Networks Discovery tab. This helps your community see top posts, members even near them, upcoming events, and more. Think of it like a bulletin board for your community. And it is the best I've seen in all the platforms I'm going to talk about. They don't all have this Discovery tab, and I just think it's such a good idea. Mighty Networks AI is called Mighty Co-host. Mighty Co-host can suggest course outlines, conversation prompts, and even help you with design. My favorite part of their AI is this thing they have though called Smart Member Matching. This connects people in your community based on their location and their interests. It's so cool. Features like this really foster one-on-one conversations between your community members, which I think is so vital in today's growing age of disconnect in AI. You can host your live calls right inside of Mighty Networks in their own software, which is very convenient. You can host free and paid events, and your members can RSVP to things, and you can send out reminders. When it comes to courses, which I imagine a lot of us are going to be building a course or some sort of learning along with our community, Mighty Networks makes it very seamless. You can add in your space as a tab within your community so members can just click in it directly and learn while also engaging with community members. I will say though, because Mighty Networks is a community-first platform and not like an all-in-one platform, I think that their core software is a bit lacking. It's definitely not as robust as something like Kajabi or Thinkific. Your users can use the Mighty Networks app in order to access your community. And if you want your own branded app, that is an option, but is an additional cost. And let me tell you, having your own app is usually pretty pricey with all the softwares I'm going to talk about today. In terms of pricing and value, I think Mighty Networks is pretty strong. Their lowest plan starts at just $49 a month. And that includes unlimited course members, which is a big win since many other platforms have a cap. However, their $49 plan only includes the community. If you want to also have a course with it, then you will have to upgrade to their course plan that starts at $109 a month. So just something to be thinking about. And if you want to try out Mighty Networks, I have an extended 30-day trial. Their trial is normally just 14 days. You can find that linked down in the description. Last thing I'll say about Mighty Networks as well is that they do not have email marketing. So you can send messages to your community members, but if you want to be able to build up an email list, you cannot do that inside of Mighty Networks. You will have to pay for another software that you can integrate alongside Mighty Networks. So that's an added cost as well. So just something to be thinking about. Bottom line, I think Mighty Networks is the perfect fit for you if you are community first focused and you want to drive high engagement. Mighty Networks can really scale with you from a small community to massive communities. It's definitely one of the OGs in this space for a reason and worth checking out. PSA 2, I try to show you the back end of these softwares because it's really important to see the look and feel. So you may see Mighty Networks and be like, wow, Yes, I love how it's set up. That's for me. And then you may look at a software in a little bit called Heartbeat and think, oh, like not me at all, or vice versa. So really take note of me showing you the back end of these because it will be helpful in you deciding what is going to be the right fit for you and the vibe and style that you like for your community. Last PSA, I know that I'm going through a lot of details, and so don't forget to download that chart that's comparing the top community platforms of the year that I made for you down below. Another one of the best community platforms of the year is Kajabi. Kajabi is best for creators and entrepreneurs who want a truly all-in-one platform where they can have their entire business in one place. I personally run my whole business on Kajabi, so I'm going to go at this as unbiased as possible, but it houses my course, my community, my website, email opt-ins, email marketing, digital downloads, payments, one-on-one clients, future podcasts, like literally all of the things you can do inside of Kajabi. I see a lot of other softwares call themselves all-in-one platforms, and usually that's not the case. Kajabi truly is all-in-one, and it's really the best all-in-one on the market right now, in my opinion. Now, in terms of organization and ease of use, I first want to say that there is a slight learning curve to Kajabi just because you can do so much. But specifically within Kajabi's community, I think it's very intuitive and easy to use on both you as a creator side and user side. Kajabi has completely revamped their community feature in the last year. I'm blown away by just how intuitive it is and how much work they've done. Kajabi's community is set up via feeds, which are really similar to Mighty Network Spaces. You can create chats, challenges, events, and coaching calls, and even create custom pages like where you could link your course. In terms of engagement, Kajabi recently added direct messaging for your community members. They also added a leaderboard, which always boosts engagement. It's quite similar to Mighty Networks, except without some of the bells and whistles. So like, of course you could make a poll in Kajabi, but it's not as robust as Mighty Networks. Definitely solid for an all-in-one platform though. When it comes to AI, Kajabi has their own AI system called AIMA, but I'm gonna be real, I never use it. I still use ChatGPT. I'd probably have to say that Mighty Networks AI is stronger in terms of the community right now, but I have hope that Kajabi can level it up in the future. Kajabi makes live calls super simple. You can simply hit this button and go live, or you can schedule out lives, send automatic reminders to your community, have them auto save, and even have it automate emails of the replay to your community members. Now, in terms of courses, Kajabi's course builder is absolutely incredible and really robust. While this video is getting edited, Kajabi also just updated, making it super easy to connect your course and your community. As you can see here, this is my community page, and if someone wants to access the course, they can just click here. I absolutely love course creation within Kajabi. It makes it so seamless. Also, something that's really nice about Kajabi is I can link my community within the course alone. So if I have my course and my community as two separate offers, which I do, I can easily link them if I want. So you see here in my course, I link to the community where people can join there, or I can even just have it within the community as well. I usually recommend to have your courses be lifetime access and then have your communities only be like 3 to 6 to 12 months access, because if you give people lifetime access to your community, odds are that they are going to stop showing up. So if you have a limited time access to a community, then you can have an upsell where people then pay a monthly fee to be able to stay in, and then they actually continue to show up and take advantage of all that you're offering inside of your community. Kajabi also has an app that your students can use to access your community. If you want your own branded app, that is also an option, just at an additional fee. Value-wise, Kajabi can have some sticker shock where you're like, oh my gosh, it seems really expensive. And that's what I thought at first. That's why I started out on Teachable and then painstakingly had to move over to Kajabi, because I thought that I would save money, but I actually was spending more money because I was having to buy all these other softwares like my website and my email marketing, and then also having a community course platform. So just something to keep in mind, Kajabi's starter plan, their Kickstarter plan, is $89 a month. That includes one product, which would be like a course, one community with unlimited access groups, one website, and unlimited email marketing. So while Mighty Networks has this $49 plan, that doesn't include a course, and their course plan is $109. So you can already see it's somewhat comparable to others out there. So just really look at the features before you let price push out one of these softwares for you, because let me tell you, having all the softwares can really add up. And if you have squirrel brain like me, having everything in one platform is just like, the best thing ever. Bottom line, Kajabi is the best all-in-one software out there. If you want to build a solid community, but you also want to build a course and have digital products and have email marketing and all the things, Kajabi is the perfect fit for you. Now, if you're interested in trying out Kajabi, I have an extended 30-day trial that you can use that also comes with immediate access to my 0 to 10K course roadmap to help you make your first $10,000 in course sales. Super helpful course, and it's free. Definitely sign up with that link. By the way, if you're wondering what's the best course software, not just community software, check out this video where I compare the top course softwares of the year. Okay, next up on the list, and these are in no particular order, for best online community platforms of the year is one I'm really excited about called Skool. Skool is the best option for creators who want the sleekest, most modern course experience for their community members. Skool often describes itself as the most intuitive platform for communities, and honestly, I would have to agree. I find the layout to be just like really sleek, and I'm so excited for you to also see Heartbeat in a second and just compare the two because people definitely have styles that they like. So you may look at Skool right now and be like, I already know I love it. You know when you see Skool because there's something just so satisfying about the layout. I really love how Skool organizes its platform. You can see here is the home area where you have courses, events, the members library, and the leaderboard. And something about these being at the top just makes me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. There's something wrong with me. It feels so user-friendly though. In the actual community, similar to Mighty Networks, everything is organized in spaces. And with the spaces, you can customize them as posts, chat, courses, or events. Skool's community engagement tools are also very strong and intuitive. Skool has gamification built into it, and so members can earn points as they engage more in your community. They can move up into your leaderboard, they can unlock rewards. They don't have as fancy of polls as Mighty Networks, but Skool does a great job at member engagement. Something I do think that sets Skool apart is their AI workflows. So for example, you can assign their AI to answer unanswered posts for you. It can even message members back who failed a quiz with encouragement and explanations. This is super cool. It can save you literally so much time. Running a community, if you've never done it, let me tell you, it takes a lot of time getting back to everyone's comments. So to have AI help you do that, that's been trained on your course, that's been trained on your program and teachings, amazing. But hold up. It comes at a price. You can only use these AI automations on their enterprise plan that is $499 a month. Skirt! We're probably, in the beginning of our community, not going to be able to afford that, but something to look forward to as you scale. Skool also has something called AI agents, and you can train the agent on your course and on your teachings. It's literally like having a co-founder in your back pocket that is helping you answer questions and scale out your community. Pretty cool. For live calls, Skool has two options: live rooms and live streams. Live rooms are more like Zoom calls. On the Pro plan, you can host up to 30 people, and live streams are for larger events where really people are just watching your feed and it's less about engagement and more about you teaching or doing some sort of an interview with someone for the community. On the Pro plan, you can stream with up to 100 people and 6 co-hosts. All of these you can either just go live right away or you can schedule them out, send RSVPs, and add it to your schedule. Courses integrate directly within your community. I was pretty impressed by the courses in Skool. You can upload video, audio, text, quizzes, you can drip out content, and you can even gamify course progress with a leaderboard. And it's pretty easy to set up with their drag and drop builder. Of course, it's still not going to be quite as robust as something like Kajabi Thinkific, but it's pretty good. Skool does have its own app that your members can use to log into your community. And if you want your own branded app, that's also an option at an additional cost. Value-wise, Skool's first professional plan starts at $89 a month. That's more expensive than Mighty Network's first $49 a month plan, but Skool's does include courses right away. So while Skool can look actually more expensive up front, and it is, you technically are getting more bang for your buck in the beginning. It's worth noting too that Skool has recently added an email hub in their software as well, and that's free for up to your 100 first contacts. You can send emails, build opt-in forms, and after 100 contacts, the pricing goes up. You can see here. I will say I find their email builder just so Kajabi's is definitely stronger. Even like their opt-in form, I don't think it's that great yet. So if you're going to pay for an email software, really think about, is it worth it in Skool and just having it all in place? Or maybe is a better option to look at something like Flowdesk. So just something to think about. Bottom line, Skool is best for you if you want a really clean, simple, and streamlined community software that allows you to create robust courses and have basic email marketing. It may feel like it's a bit on the pricier side, but I do think with what it offers, it's definitely worth it. The next best community software of the year is Skool. Skool is best for creators who want a super simple community-focused platform without all the bells and whistles. If you've watched any other of my comparison videos, you know I'm not a fan of Skool. I think it's overpriced for what you get. But recently, one of my clients, Graham, has built his community inside of Skool and he loves it. And a part of the reason he loves it so much is the simplicity of it and just how easy it is to use and engage your community and have a free part of your membership and a paid part of your membership. With Skool, it's minimal design, minimal complexity, and for some people, they're like, yes, that sounds amazing, give me that. So let's look at just the ease of use and organization of Skool. Skool combines your community, courses, calendar, and leaderboards into one clean user experience. The main hub feels kind of like a private Facebook page in my opinion, but without all the noise and distractions. Members can easily browse posts, comments, and interact with one another, so it does a really good job of creating natural conversation flow. But what I will say is that the other communities that I'm in show up on the side. And so for me, as someone who's building up my own brand, if you have the temptation when you're in my community to maybe go to another community that you're in, I don't like that. I want when you log into the community, you only see my stuff. So that's just a qualm I have about Skool, but let me know what you think about that if you're a Skool user. I will say Skool does a really good job at engagement and gamification. People can get really into the leaderboards where they can climb up the levels and you can name the different levels of your users. I think the added feature can make people just feel appreciated and want to comment even more in your community. In terms of AI in Skool, I give it probably a 0 out of 10. Okay. It doesn't really exist. So if you want AI to help you build out your community within Skool, you're going to have to use ChatGPT. But I'm using ChatGPT anyway all the time. So, when it comes to courses in Skool, they are included. Every community comes with a course tab, which you can see here. And in this section, you can host unlimited video lessons, PDFs, resources. It's not super fancy or highly customizable, but it definitely gets the job done and it's quite straightforward without a big learning curve.
For live calls, you can host them on Skool's own software. You can also host them on Zoom or even Google Meet, and you can either go live or schedule it out, and that will show up on your community calendar, which I think is really convenient.
Skool does have a mobile app that your users can use to access your community, but if you want to build your own branded app, that is not an option currently inside of Skool. Now, value-wise is where Skool gets kind of the side eye, because it is a $99 flat fee. That comes with unlimited members, unlimited courses, no feature upsells. The only added thing is they have a 3% transaction fee, which all of these softwares will always have a transaction fee for people using credit cards. And most all of them are 3%. So compared to other platforms that constantly have these kind of tiers and price increases, Skool's just $99 flat fee could be a relief for some people.
Skool also has a $9 a month hobby plan. That comes with a whopping 10% transaction fee. So this plan is just great if you're wanting to build out your community before you actually launch it, which could be really helpful. You don't get a custom URL and you cannot hide suggested communities, which is a qualm I was talking about, where I don't like that someone could easily then just dip out of your community and go somewhere else. So you definitely want to quickly move up to this $99 a month plan, but it can be a nice way to inexpensively build out a community before having to go to the $99 pro plan.
But there is a trade-off that I want you to keep in mind, is that Skool does not have any sort of robust email software. You will definitely need an email software as well at an additional cost. So for me personally, the simplicity and the pricing feels too limited, but for you, it may be a perfect fit and exactly what you're looking for. Bottom line, Skool is the best for creators who want just a one price, simple, straightforward online community platform. If you don't care about the bells and whistles and you want something really basic, then Skool could be a great fit for you. Another top community platform of the year is Heartbeat. Heartbeat is best for creators and entrepreneurs who want a simple, robust, and lively online community. Heartbeat for me feels like the notion of online communities. And what do I mean by that? It's very clean, intuitive, and flexible, but it also feels like it has a more youthful vibe to it. And looking inside, can't you see what I'm saying? Compared especially to Circles, the vibe for Heartbeat is just a lot more fun. This is actually what one of their top reviews on their site says. I looked at other platforms and they're just so boring. Heartbeat, color, and pop, and is a much more fun place to engage my members. I think, Giselle, you're right. In Heartbeat, your entire community lives in one feed, and it feels very approachable and user-friendly for beginners, or you as a creator, and your users as well. In Heartbeat, you create channels to organize your community, and these can be like with posts and comments, chat, which is like a member group text, and this really cool thing called voice where your members can actually communicate via audio. I haven't seen this feature in other community platforms, and I think it's really unique and exciting. You can also easily decide if you want these channels to be paid or free.
In terms of engagement, Heartbeat has these unique features called matchups, where you're actually able to play like a matchmaker for your students to be able to meet each other and foster one-on-one connections. Their founder created a whole tutorial video on it, but you can see here, these are matchups of a bunch of their members in a group. People then can opt in for how often they want to be matched up with someone to connect with other community members. And you can choose then in the matchmaking settings if you want it to be new members or existing members. You can specify the pools that Heartbeat will pull people from in order to match them up. And then it will automatically send an email to your community members with the bios of the person that it's matched them up with to foster one-on-one connection. I find this setting really unique and powerful and a huge selling point for Heartbeat, in my opinion.
Courses also really seamlessly integrate within Heartbeat. I will say that Heartbeat's course builder is very basic, but it has all the things you need to still build out a solid course, but it's definitely a community-first platform. So just know if you're wanting to build out this like really intense course to go along with it, then Heartbeat probably isn't the software for you. I do think where Heartbeat really shines along with something like Skool is in the simplicity. I think it's pretty fast to set up, it's quite simple, and your members won't get lost in the maze of features unless you add like millions of channels on the side. Then it may get a little confusing, but as long as you keep things pretty simple, like even for me in my own community in Kajabi, I have 3 areas where people can post, and I find that to be just enough, where people can share wins, ask questions, and introduce themselves. Keep it simple. In terms of AI, I think Heartbeat is a bit lacking. They do have an AI chatbot to help you out, but overall, I'm pretty unimpressed. Their AI tools seem to be non-existent, which feels a bit odd in this day and age, but maybe one day they'll add them in. So right now, if you want to use AI with Heartbeat, you're going to have to use ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you're currently using. I do appreciate that you can host your live calls directly in Heartbeat without any outside software. They have built-in live rooms that can hold up to 50 people. Or if you want more than that, you can also integrate Zoom. Within Heartbeat, you can also send out email reminders to your community members about live or future calls and events. Heartbeat does have an app that your users can use to access your community on their phone, but there is no option if you want to build your own branded app. You cannot do that in Heartbeat, at least currently. Now, when it comes to value and pricing, Heartbeat is one of the best values because their starting plan is just $40 a month. And that plan comes with up to 1,000 members, which is pretty competitive compared to other platforms we've seen. If you want to be able to unlock Heartbeat's automations and more advanced features, you'll have to go to their $108 plan, which I still feel is pretty comparable to other softwares that we talked about today. Bottom line, Heartbeat is the best fit for you if you want a fun, simple, and affordable community-first software. Now hold up, if you are between 1 or 2 softwares and you still can't decide, I have free trials to all of these community platforms, and I recommend that you actually use those trials for the 2 of them and create like a fake community for each one and just play around and see what feels easiest to use for you and what best fits the vibe. Sometimes really just actually going into a software and trying it for yourself is the best way to know if it's the right fit for you. Don't forget to download my free comparison chart of all of the platforms that we talked about today. And if you have any questions or hot takes about your community software, let me know in the description below, and I will see you next video. Bye.